What's up guys, Wyland1 here, and today we're taking a special look at my unexpected AEW World Championship collection of belts. As you can see, I have a lot of them. It's just how it was. I kept buying, and I kept buying, and there you go. So we're going to go over which one's my favorites, which ones I bought first, second, and third, etc. And we're going to have a nice little review of all of them. Now, it will be a crime not to show this one. Now, this is the Jazzwares AEW World Championship on Cody Rhodes, and it looks fantastic. Alright, so let's get into the first one right here. Now, with some kind of context, of course, this is early on in AEW's existence, maybe 5-6 months in. They finally present to us their AEW World Championship. And Bret Hart came out and brought it out, right? And like everyone else, I thought it was the most beautiful belt I've ever seen in a long time. I just had to have it. And of course, back then, AEW didn't have an official replica yet. So, like everyone else out there, you had to go online and try to find one. You had to go through third parties, you had to go through bootlegs and stuff like that. So I have to admit, I was very new to that because I never even knew bootleg belts or third-party belt makers was an actual market. I had no idea because I bought all my belts from WWE shop. And that's the only thing I really watched back then. AEW was so new. There was TNA, but I didn't really care that much about it. But yeah, so this is what we got right here. To my defense, I was very inexperienced back then in what to look for and stuff like that. So this one right here, don't laugh, was from eBay, $170, 2mm, single plated, made out of brass. Yes. And I have to admit, it's not the greatest belt. It sucks. It's ugly looking. It's horrible. It is what it is. But I would still never give this belt up because it's very sentimental to me, because it really sparked my kind of thirst on buying bootleg belts or buying more belts and collecting more belts and stuff like that. So this started it all. Very cool. And like I said, it's hideous. But I'm never, like I said, it's very sentimental to me. It means something to me, and I would never give it away. And here it is all sprawled out. Very nice leather work. You got the AEW tooling there. You have 6 snaps on one side, paper thin plates, and of course the best part, the belt tip, the half belt tip. You can't get any better quality than that. Alright, so after buying this one, I knew I had to upgrade, and I got this one right here. Alright, so this one right here, if I didn't say it before, that's about 3 pounds, 4 pounds max. It's super light. This one, on the other hand, it was about 8 pounds. Humongous upgrade, in my opinion. Actually, it really is. It's 4mm, dual plated, and you can see the etching on this is very deep. Very nice work on it. The plates are really thick as well at 4mm, so it was a humongous upgrade compared to this one, and I love this belt. The maker is Bingo Fashion. He still makes belts today, very good. He's definitely upgraded his quality since this one. It's been like two years at least. Definitely makes great belts still. Like I said before, I think this one was about $223 or $29, something like that. And like I said, 4mm, dual plated. And like I said, I fell in love with this belt for so long. It looks fantastic. The color is also very vibrant. The gold stands out a lot. Really deep etching. It's very nice. Very nice belt. And like I said, I love this belt because I had this one propped up with my NXT belt side by side, and I just love how those two look next to each other. Nice looking belt. The strap is nice as well. You have 7 snaps on one side with the AEW tooling. I actually like the strap a lot. It has a nice matte feel to it. Very good quality. So this belt is nice, but I had to admit there were drawbacks to it. For one thing was the size. It's about the same size as this one. It's about 10 inches from top to bottom, so it's not the biggest belt. But the main thing that kind of irked me a lot was the spacing in between the plates. I felt like it was too wide or too much of a gap, and it kind of bothered me for a while. So with the size being a little bit smaller than I would like it to be, and the gap in between the plates, I kind of wanted to upgrade again. And this was not the upgrade. So this one's a funny one. So after buying that one right there, I wanted to buy a new one, a better one. And I stumbled upon this one on eBay for $170. It's 2 millimeters, but dual plated. And it looks funky looking, I guess you can say. It looked weird. And I just was so interested in it. I bought it anyway. Because the guy was selling it. It needed a new home. I was like, I'll give it a new home. Why not? I just want to see what other people are making out there and how their quality is and what weird shapes they're making and stuff like that with their belt. And this is a really weird AEW belt. It's probably the worst one in the group. I mean, this one's bad, that one's is bad, but this is just weird, Like you see the sides, the globes, there's no border on it. It's just the globe itself. It's so plain here. It's a weird belt, but like I said, I was drawn to it. I just had to buy it. And so here, this one is sprawled out. It has 8 snaps on it. Nice strap, the AEW tooling. It actually has a nice glossy finish to it. It looks pretty nice, I have to admit. And this one, I have to admit, even just laying it flat, that looks pretty cool. It's really big looking as well. It's extremely flat though. There's like no curve to it at all. It's like a pancake. Look at that. So yeah, this one out of pure curiosity, wanted to see how it was. Gave it a home. Alright, now we get to the main event. The last two right here. The big championships. So honestly, at this point in my, belt collecting, I've become very aware what were the more premier belt makers out there, the better, bootleg belt makers out there. And I saw mock belts, I saw Mayan belts, but I heard so many horror stories about getting them, the customer service. It takes months, 6 months, 10 months. They don't hear anything about it. They don't know what happened to their order. So that kind of discouraged me a lot. But then I stumbled upon Steven Hammer, and he's a fantastic YouTuber who collects belts. He came across this one, which I bought right here as well. It is the SA Championship belts version of the AEW World Championship. So this one was the big upgrade right here. This one is humongous. Like I said, it's from SA Championship belts. If I remember right, it was about $500. It's 4 millimeters, 4 layers of plates in the center, 3 on the side. As you can see, the quality of it is fantastic. It is very nice, a very nice belt. It definitely has its flaws though, but at the time, I was like, wow, compared to those 3, this is amazing. And at this time still, there wasn't any official AEW belt yet. So this was, for me, the be-all end-all. And here it is laid out flat. Looks fantastic. It has 8 snaps on the side right here. Nice AEW tooling. Very nice. Like a semi-gloss finish to the strap itself. But there were a couple of things that bothered me about this one. Always, right? You always nitpick. For one thing, even though this belt looks fantastic, what bugged me a lot was the side plates, especially this one right here. I thought it was too slim. Like you see the AEW belt, right? Like the side plates are humongous and very prominent. This one I felt like it was too small, especially because the center plate is humongous. It's a huge plate. It's about 12 inches top to bottom. This one had to be a lot bigger. Just the way they made it. I think they fixed it recently to make it more accurate, but at the time when I bought it, this is how they were making it. Another thing that bothered me about this belt were the snaps. Now, some of them work fine, but if you look closely, it's hard to see on camera. Some of them are not aligned perfectly. They're almost on a diagonal look. They're almost diagonal, honestly. So they weren't the greatest. Only a couple will work here and there, but you really had to find it and get the perfect ones to match up. So the side plates bothered me. The snaps bothered me. The belt looks fantastic though, don't get me wrong, but this still wasn't the perfect belt for me yet. So at this point, the AEW belt was officially announced, and the wait time was a year, and it was $800. So at that point, I was like, man, $800 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I mean, with that one and these 3, I definitely spent over that. But do I really want to spend another $800? So I waited for a while to see reviews, and obviously everyone said they were fantastic, but the belt strap kind of sucked. Obviously, it's like cardboard, and that kind of discouraged me a little bit because if you're paying $800 for a belt, you should have a premium strap to it, to be honest. So I kind of laid off for a while, but I was still out there searching for a new AEW belt, and I finally found it right here. Now this one is made from Mayan belts, Mian belts. I know everyone says it differently, but this one is the one I always wanted when it came to the bootleg belts because I thought it was the most accurate that you can get. But like I said before, I don't want to go through the whole process of ordering one, waiting 10 months for it, never knowing it was going to come. And luckily, I found this on eBay, secondhand, of course, and he was selling it for $450, and I just pounced on it. Now, if I'm correct, this is actually the version 1 of it. There's 2 versions. This is the version 1, which I still think is very nice. It's a very nice belt. It actually came with a Chris Jericho nameplate, but I took it off because he no longer is the champion. If he has a second reign, I will definitely put it back on. But this is how I keep it now. But like I said, this is the belt I actually wanted for a while, but I just couldn't get it, or I didn't want to make the attempt to buy it. So I was very lucky to get it on eBay. Like I said, everything that was good on that one is in this one, in my opinion. And everything that I saw as a flaw in that one, this one fulfilled. The side plates on these are a lot wider. And like I said, those are too narrow. These are wider. And it's about almost like 3/4 of an inch wider as well. It's actually really significant. So when you look at this, the side plates are more prominent, which I like a lot. And with this belt, you have these special Australian stones. So when you see it at certain angles and walk by it, you see a nice sparkle in it. I have some light on it right now so you can see that. I don't know how it's picking up on camera. But yeah, they definitely look nice, especially when I walk by it. I can get a nice glimpse of it. I like the shine, I like the sparkle. So the stones on these are actually really nice. And here's this one laid flat. And like I said, everything checks out nicely. The side plates are nice and wide, which I like a lot. The strap is actually really nice. It's actually the most accurate one I have because it's really thick over here. And then it narrows down toward the end, which is accurate. It has 8 snaps, which line up perfectly to the other side, so I can wear it, and they snap very easily. And like I said, what was good on this is here, and the flaws that I saw in that one, they're fixed on this one. So I'm very, very happy with this. In my opinion, this is probably the last one I'm going to buy. Unless someday in the future when the official AEW belt goes down in price, then maybe I might buy it. But I spent a lot of money on all of these third-party belts. You know, I think I'm pretty happy with it. And just to go over the overall details of this belt, I think if you want to buy it new, at the time it was like $675. I got it for $450. It's 4 layers, 4mm plates, very thick main plate, 3 layers on the side plates. Fantastic stones on it, fantastic gems. Just looks great. The etching, like I said, I think they upgraded the etching in the version 2, but it still looks really nice on this one. So I'm not hating it. Alright guys, so that's why I have so many belts, as you can see. If I had to pick my favorites, it would be these 2 right here. The Mayan belts one, of course, and also the Bingo Fashion one. I still think that's a really nice looking belt. The middle one, of course, is the sentimental favorite because it started the whole collection right there. And the other 2, like I said, the SA Championship belt one is very nice. It's just not as good as this one, so it gets knocked off the top 3 list right there. But that's about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my collection and my review. And like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want to pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace!